Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Xavier. So today we're going to talk about the term pretty privilege. So what is pretty privilege? It refers to advantages and preferential treatment that conventionally attractive people might receive. But how does it shape individuals' perceptions of themselves in relation to the societal beauty standards? Are people content with the way they look? Or do people feel pressure to conform to these often unattainable beauty ideals? To delve deeper into these questions, we're going to go out on the street and ask some people how they feel about it. How do you guys feel about the way you look compared to the societal beauty standards?
Depends on the day.
Depends on
I'd
the day.
say,
Yeah.
You like to compare yourself, for example, with pictures on Instagram and stuff? Or
yeah, definitely. I'd say I compare myself to other people a lot, but I know it's not good, but I still do.
Yeah, it's kind of the same. Like I try not to body positivity, but yeah, it's
hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
do you think it takes a toll on people's mental health?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think I look great.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I try not to like care too much or like compare myself too much.
Yeah.
So in the end, like you're born with this face, you can't really change it, right? So because of that, I don't give it much thought. Like like a pretty social person.
Yeah.
So I think just putting myself out there builds that confidence. So it's regardless of how you look.
I think I look okay, so that's good.
I feel pretty okay about it. I don't have complaints.
What about you? What do you think?
I like the way I look. Obviously, like, I look at people on Instagram, like, oh, I wish I looked at that. But I don't, like, I'm content with myself.
Okay,
I
that's
feel
good.
like it's whatever.
I would say I'm happy with myself. I don't know. Everyone has like their own special things, and there are so many people around the world, and there are so many people for everyone. And I mean, I don't like exactly what you like, or maybe yes, maybe not, or
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
yeah, I mean, nowadays everyone needs to be okay, long hair and pretty and I don't know what, and makeup and whatever. But I think if you're like happy with yourself and like just
That makes
happy
you more
with the
attractive.
life, yeah, right. You can just sometimes also like the inside makes someone very like beautiful.
Yeah. The charisma, right?
Yeah, right.
That's a good question. I don't really care about like, just like looks. Like I know like a lot of people do, and it's kind of just dumbing us down. It's
Yeah.
just dumbing society down. I can kind of see that, but like I don't really pay attention. Like I mean, like I'm wearing jeans and an old thrifted sweater. So like I clearly don't care about like how I look. But like like if I'm like going out, yeah, like I'll just like put on a nice shirt. Like some women like put a lot of like care into it. Like really, it's no big deal. Like just
Because I grew up in an Asian society,
Yeah.
so I can definitely agree with her that when I came to Canada, I see like the beauty standards are much different, like the Western beauty standards. So I do agree that beauty really lies in the eye of the beholder, and it really depends where you are.
Yeah.
You know, what is considered beauty, and like maybe like an Indian or an Asian society is different from what is considered beauty here.
What do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of being attractive or looking attractive?
I think for women, it gives you an advantage to be closer to a beauty standard because,
Even modeling.
yeah, for example, but also a lot of like leaders in business and like the working world are men, so women tend to have an advantage if they're more like attractive to a man, I think.
Yeah, but then they're also at a disadvantage too because they're more treated as objects rather than
That's very true as well.
than people with experience, with work
Okay.
experience and everything.
I mean, pretty privilege. It's definitely a thing. People treat you better if they're attracted to you sometimes, like when you go out and such. So yeah, it would be harder if you don't fit into the classic beauty standards.
I mean, obvious advantages. You look attractive. That's something in itself.
Yeah.
Disadvantage. Ooh.
If somebody looks more attractive, do you think he or she gets better treatment?
Yeah, I mean, I get treated great. So, yeah. So I'd say definitely as as my peer said, pretty privileged.
I mean, I would say maybe the advantages are like you can maybe in some places be better accepted because a lot of people are like, oh, oh, he's attractive, so we can just like speak to him, her, whatever. And maybe that's a little bit easier, but sometimes like if you don't like can speak or are not the kind person, I mean, I know a boy here, he's working like a model, so you can earn money like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's good. But you know, that's also another thing because how, like, what is beauty exactly, right? To work like a model, earn money like a model or something. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's maybe be better accepted in some, yeah.
Yeah. But what do you think are the disadvantages when it comes to being attractive? Like advantages and disadvantages. So what do you think are the disadvantages?
Uh, being for like being a girl for example, sometimes like with other girls there are a lot of inconvenience, jealousness, and then they treat you like in front of you like a real person but like kind, and then behind you they speak really bad of you, and it's like,
Okay.
you know, sometimes you can't do anything. It's like just let it go. So yeah.
I don't know. There are certain stereotypes about the ways certain people look. I think particularly women, and that can be its own thing. But for the most part, I think pretty privilege exists.
I guess advantages like people might just treat you better in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So career-wise, it's also beneficial, I guess.
Yeah, I think like sometimes if attractive people like in certain careers might have some disadvantages, like just assumptions people make, but then again, people tend to treat you better.
Yeah.
I would totally say, yeah. Definitely people have different perceptions if you look different. And like even for my own biases, I definitely feel that too. Like I'll interact someone if they look different.
Advantages, or probably even career-wise, like might expose you to better opportunities. Because like if you have a more memorable face, or people like find you attractive and like want to be around you, I guess. There's probably some preferential treatment. It's like everyone's kind of biased, and I think deep down in like certain ways, right? So, it would be an advantage for those things. Disadvantage would be, I guess, like if you're like a model, like probably you have a lot of people that want to be friends with you, but it's mostly like not as genuine. Yeah, exactly. Or like your fame because of that. But I guess that's the extreme.
I think the advantages are definitely yes. You will get like say if you're in a room, you will attract some attention, and people may first want to approach you. People may want to get to know you, and people may feel they want to be friends with you first, and then of course later on it's like the process, right? If they vibe with you and all of that. The disadvantages, I honestly don't know.
Okay.
There are some maybe like exactly what she said. People may just look at you as a pretty face, and I don't know, people be jealous of you. I don't really have anything different to add.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a lot of privilege that comes with being quote unquote like traditionally attractive. But I think also the disadvantage that there's, especially females, are very much like over sexualized. I think actually both males and females are over sexualized if they're quote unquote like more attractive.
What are the disadvantages?
Not much, you know, not much. I live a pretty great life, so
People will probably like you better if you're in general. Not that that should be how it is. I mean, a disadvantage could be like catcalling, but that's not necessarily like because you're attractive. That's just because of like bad people. So, yep.
Do you think the way that we look affects the way that other people interact with us?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and think of like a super pretty woman, like people will treat her differently than a random dude you'll like pass by on the street, right?
Do you think, the friendships, for example, are more superficial? People want to be friends with you just because of the way that you look?
It depends on who your friends are. Like you can definitely have good friends who are friends with you not because of your appearance, but maybe some people subconsciously are friends with people who they think are more good looking.
Okay. What do you think?
I don't really think friendship is based on looks primarily. So I don't really think it affects your friendship, no matter how good looking you are.
I think people with similar styles might want to become friends, but it's a bit shallow if you want to become friends with someone just because of their looks.
I agree. I agree.
You're from France, right? What would you say are the differences when it comes to the way that people perceive beauty and stuff in North America and in France?
France, I guess, in North America, there's more the trend, body positivity and everything in social media. Then in France, it's less, but it's coming. So I guess in France, there's more the stereotypical beauty of being thin and working out than in the US. Especially with fashion in France, like modeling. But it's changing really quickly, though.
Do you think the way that we look affects the way that people interact with us?
Yes.
Do you think it also contributes to more like, I guess, mental issues and stuff? Because people compare themselves to like Instagram models.
Totally. I mean, I think that's an issue with social media also. But I think definitely like the issue of social media and how much media we consume on a daily basis definitely has a negative effect on our mental health for sure. I mean, I think there's privilege that comes with it, like getting things for free, and not because the reason behind it is good, but I think also there's something nice about being conventionally attractive in the sense of like on someone on the street would like be more inclined to talk to you. But I also like personally don't feel like it's a benefit because the over sexualization that comes with being attractive, especially as a female, like is really negative. There's not like a good reason someone's coming up to you for your conventional attractiveness.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, do you think it's beneficial for developing somebody's career, for example, if you look conventionally attractive?
I mean, if you're going into modeling, sure, but unfortunately you definitely get a leg up if you're more attractive going into a job hire. Like that's the reality, and I think that's how humans are programming. Like we're just programmed, like we're sexually driven, so I think that's probably why. But unfortunately is the reality, yeah.
It's clear that social media definitely plays a very important role in shaping our beauty standards, our aesthetic judgment, and our self-perceptions. Obviously, our discussions today only provide a glimpse into this very complex issue, but I think it's safe to say that it's definitely affecting the way that we see ourselves a lot of times, and it takes a toll on our emotional well-being and our confidence, obviously. In any case, I think it's important to try to continue these conversations and promote a more I guess, inclusive as well as a more diverse understanding of beauty in our society. If you guys enjoy watching videos like this and learning foreign languages through my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.